Well, I've embarked on the degree course that they're running here. There's professional sports writing and broadcasting, and that requires a few attendance days throughout the year where we get face-to-face lectures that subsidise the online learning that we use. So it's very good. Helps us to put a lot of things in perspective, because I'm sure, as you've found, when you're reading stuff just page after page, a lot of it doesn't sink in. So it's good to have someone qualified to get a general perspective and a good overview of the topics.
How long ago was it that you decided to embark on the course? What made you embark on this?
Well, I actually decided about 2 or 3 years ago when I started to turn my attentions towards my career after football. I'm going to have to get things in place for an alternative career, and media and broadcasting is something that I've always been interested in. So I thought if I wanted to branch out in that, then surely the thing to do is get qualified in it and add some credence to the regular footballer cum pundit scenario. And the PFA tailor this course specifically so that you can still have a full-time professional career and take the course, and it fits in perfectly with my schedule.
Obviously you've had a few notable TV appearances in the past. Question time recently. What do other professionals think about it?
Well, you would have to ask them. I don't want to throw any conjecture around about people's opinions, but generally from my own teammates it's good. A lot of them watch Question Time for the first time, just because of my appearance on there, and that's good. It's opening people up to programmes that raise wider issues than just the little bubble that we are sometimes in football. But I think that the response has generally been good, very good.
And obviously now your profile is quite high in regards to how you deal with media or opportunities. So you're obviously hoping to embark on a fully fledged career in the media after your footballing days.
Well, the idea is to just add strings to your bow, to coin a phrase. And I want to know that because of my well-documented past, and I've been thriftless, let's say, with what I've done and earned in football. So I am going to have another career when I retire. So the aim now is to try out different areas, see what I can and can't do, and then when I find something that I can do, see if I'm well received in that industry. So I'm just dipping my toe in the water in different areas, and just, like I said, adding strings to my bow, give myself options.
Moving back into the football world now, obviously there's been some made of money flying about in the last window. What's your personal take on the value of Fernando Torres and the money that was at stake in that?
It's a very good question. Obviously it's poignant because it's very recent, and in the current economic climate people think it's kind of absurd the amount of money that's been thrown around, but it's because people have an emotive and an emotional grasp of football, and they take it into their daily lives, when I think that football has to be set apart as a professional industry that it is. It conforms to every law of supply and demand like any other business, and it's £1 billion industry in England alone. So these figures are relative within the sport. So Chelsea shell out £50 million for Fernando Torres, but let's say Fernando Torres is instrumental in them winning the Premier League, winning the Champions League, and further in the global brand of Chelsea. The actual measure to them, the actual benefit to them is immeasurable. We're talking hundreds of millions, if not billions of pounds in the long term. So everything is relative. I know that the figures may seem obscene in the current climate, but as a specific industry and conforming to, like I said, regular laws of supply and demand, that's what Fernando Torres' value is.
So obviously, how do teams, smaller teams like Stoke City here, Blackpool, how do those sort of teams form the challenge in the Premier League when such money is taking place at the top of it?
Well, that's the great question. That there's it forms a real division amongst the division, of the mega money and the elites, and separates these clubs who want to be up there but can't due to financial constraints. It really does separate the two. Whether it's good for football, it's really hard to it's hard for me from a personal perspective to cast a judgment whether it's good or not. The reality is that it makes it very tough for a team like Stoke to compete, and the disparity between the incomes of the clubs naturally set them apart. But it doesn't stop a club like Stoke from aspiring to be a big club, you know, from aspiring to build a squad, maybe from nominal beginnings, and hopefully breaking into those echelons, even though that may be far removed in the short term. In the long term, that's what the plan is to unearth the unpolished gems and create a team that can challenge on that basis. And we've seen it done it on more economical basis with Aston Villa. They were right on the cusp for 3 consecutive years, finishing 6th without spending mega money. But like I said, with the way that the football industry is, these clubs are generating massive incomes year on year. And although instantly a club like Stoke can't spend 50 million on a player, guaranteeing their survival within the Premier League for, let's say, 10 or 12 years will enable them to amass the financial footing to be able to go and make substantial purchases and hopefully down the line compete with the bigger clubs.
Do you think that the world's first £100 million transfer is pretty imminent then?
You've got to say it has, you know, with Cristiano Ronaldo going for what, 80 million was it, you know, not too long ago. And if you contrast that with Zinedine Zidane, did he cost 30 million but some 8 years ago or however long it was? You've got to almost expect that it will. But then I don't think that when it does happen, it will be outside of the constraints of a standard business module. You know, as long as the revenue for football will continually increase, then the costs surrounding that will do so, you know, in line with that.